UEFA World Cup qualifiers was absolutely chaotic, with Sweden dropping crucial points against Kosovo, England picking up a dominant victory for the first time under Thomas Tuchel, Spain absolute destruction, and Norway score how many? 11 heaven for Norway. Welcome to the review of the September window for UEFA World Cup qualifiers. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you're Serbian, if you're English, if you're a Swede, if you're Norwegian, if you're Polish after a very good window. Germany. I don't know what to say about Germany right now with Julian Nagelsmann. It was an okay window. They lost to Slovakia. It was the first time they ever lost away in UEFA World Cup qualifiers, but the performances were still not good. They were 1-1 at point with Northern Ireland. And, credit to Northern Ireland. They had a very good window, 3-1 win over Luxembourg, and then keeping it close with Germany for a long time, but Germany are just missing talent. Antonio Rudiger was getting absolutely cooked against Slovakia, and we'll talk about Slovakia in a moment. But Germany did not look convincing in this window. I think it was so vital that they got that win over Northern Ireland. If they dropped points in that game, there would have been an emergency video here on the channel. But what is the problem for Julian Nagelsmann? Is it just down to talent? It is down to, lack of commitment from the players. That's been a discussion about Julian Nagelsmann. It's a combination of a lot of things. I think tactically, they're just way too open, and he just doesn't have the personnel in the right position. He had Goretzka kind of playing as a number 10 against Slovakia. Leon Goretzka. Are you serious right now, Julian Nagelsmann? And defensively, you gotta, hopefully Nico Schlotterbeck is going to come back soon. He's got to ramp up his recovery time because he's such a key part, I think, to this team when he gets healthy. But Germany get 3 points. It's not a disaster right now. They're still going to host Slovakia at home. That's going to have to be a must-win game, but at least they beat Northern Ireland. Otherwise, it would have been chaos. Luxembourg, both losses, even though I thought Luxembourg were the better team than Slovakia in match day 2. But unfortunately, they lost because of just poor goalkeeping and lack of finishing. They hit the post twice against Slovakia, and they just couldn't convert the chances. And Slovakia are on top now with 6 points, 3 goals scored, and 0 conceded. Even though I don't know how they beat Luxembourg, but sometimes you need luck on your side. They got it with the horrific goalkeeping, but the game they played against Germany, I thought that was the best performance Slovakia have had in years. That was better than anything they produced at the Euros. That performance from start to finish, David Hansko, Strelic with his unbelievable individual goal, I thought Slovakia were magnificent. But then you kind of see that this side, they play up to the competition. They play down to the competition. They got 6 points, though. So it's a fantastic start for Slovakia. Their next game, they're going away to Northern Ireland and hosting Luxembourg. If they get another 6 points there, they're in the driver's seat. Oh, Sweden. I mean, how do we describe this window for Sweden? Jon Dahl Tomasson might be a secret agent. He might be a secret agent. Then maybe the Danish FA told Jon Dahl Tomasson, we need you to commit sabotage on the Swedish national team because they lost to Kosovo. But before we get to Sweden, I really want to praise Kosovo for their performance because, yeah, they lost 4-0 away to Switzerland, but we're going to talk about Switzerland in a moment. I mean, Kosovo were brilliant against Sweden, and nobody wants to talk about that point. We all want to talk about Sweden, right, and the class that they have, the quality of players, but Kosovo, they just tactically nullified them. They knew when to press, knew when to sit in a low block. The counterattacks were just absolutely ruthless, super direct. There wasn't a lot of combination play. Just route one football to Muriqi, and that was enough. And they played a fantastic game, probably one of the biggest victories in Kosovo's history, to get a victory over a team like Sweden at home. And they're in a good position in this group. They're second place right now with 3 points. I mean, if you're Kosovoan, I think that's a magnificent window. And yes, it was a little bit disappointing, the performance away to Switzerland. I don't think Kosovo can be really down about that performance because they were still a very good side against Sweden. And I thought Slovenia were going to be a good defensive side in this qualifiers. Turns out not to be the case. Slovenia were all over the place defensively in this window. I don't know what's happened to them since March and last year where they were very good defensively. This window, they said, now we're going to leave the gates open for everybody to score goals here. Really poor from Slovenia's perspective. And let's see if they can bounce back in the next window. They're going to go away to Kosovo and hosting Switzerland. Yeah, that's going to be tough. And yeah, Sweden, it's just like that Kosovo result is so devastating. Not because you lose to Kosovo, but it's the manner. You fully deserve to lose. The performance was terrible. On the ball, there's no combination play. Yirkiris was just a ghost out there. You can't even blame Yirkiris. The dude got no service. Alexander Isak comes on the field, and it gets a little bit better, but he didn't get enough time. Obviously, he's lacking match fitness, but I thought to myself, this is a must-win game for Sweden. You have to beat Kosovo in both games if you want to top this group. Now that you lose it, you're putting yourself in a big hole here to try and get back with Switzerland. But the biggest problem for Sweden was in this window. defensively on their counterattacks, way too much space for the opposition. Either they want to press up high and have a crazy high line like their Ange ball, or they should just have a low to mid block and defend well. They have the players to counterattack like a Ilanga, like a Yirkiris, like a Alexander Isak, but Yondal Thomason, I think, tactically just got it wrong this window, and he's going to have to rectify it because their next 2 games are Switzerland at home and Kosovo at home. If Sweden do not pick up 6 points in that window, it's done. They're not getting direct qualification to the World Cup. And Switzerland, I think this is the first time in Switzerland history, in 5 straight games, they scored 3 or more goals. Switzerland are just now the goal-scoring kings of UEFA, alongside Spain. Vargas, Embolo doesn't do anything for Monaco nowadays because he doesn't get any minutes. And then Doi. Like, those are now the Fab 3 for Switzerland. And just the football they play is just wonderful to watch. Murayakin has done a brilliant job since last year because remember the Nations League went poorly. Well, obviously, the Euros went very well for Switzerland, but the bounce back they've had in this window, magnificent. But I don't want to get too carried away in saying that Switzerland are definitely going to walk away with this group because they're going to go away to Sweden and away to Slovenia next in October. So this group can change still. Don't get too carried away yet. I'm not going to say Sweden is dead or Slovenia is dead or Switzerland's going to walk this group. But the next window, it's everything for this group. Belarus are just done. There's no point in talking about Belarus. They're just a horrifically bad team. They can't do anything against Scotland. Nothing away to Greece. Belarus are done out here. Greece, Scotland, and Denmark all got a win, and then obviously Greece got the embarrassing result at home against Denmark, 3-0 home loss. I thought that was probably the worst game they've played under Jovanovic. Poor midfield-wise, no creativity. Pavlidis was getting pocketed by Joachim Andersen and Christensen. Nothing Jolis could do. Carezas had a decent first 5 minutes. After that, nothing. I thought it was a little bit weird that he came off at halftime, but I can understand the substitution because the kid was doing nothing out there, sadly enough to say it. And the midfield, I think that's where they lost the game. The midfield just got absolutely bullied. But maybe this is a humbling experience that Greece needed because they've been such a good team for the last couple months that bring yourselves down back to earth, okay? You're on a high, you're smoking the copium, you're smoking the hopium, you're thinking to yourself, yes, Greece can qualify to the World Cup. And I thought to myself, yes, still. They still can get second place in this group. This group is far from done, people. They still got to go away to both Denmark and Scotland, so that's in the next window. I think for Greece, just bounce back. It's still a young team. They're going to learn their lesson. Jovanovic might learn his lesson as well, and maybe we'll see a different Greece in October. But yeah, that 3-0 result was a FIFA rage quit sort of game. Scotland, it was an okay win, though. They just went away to Denmark and just tried to get the point, which they did, and it was a fabulous point by them. And then away to Belarus. They're going to beat Belarus. Belarus are not going to be a competitive team. So for Scotland's perspective, good window. 2 goals scored, 0 conceded. You still got 3 home games, and we know Scotland are a good home side. Hey, the Scots should be pretty happy. And then finally, Denmark. So the 0-0 result at home to Scotland was a little bit flat. There wasn't a lot of creativity within their game. Then they go away to Greece, and I thought, okay, this is a pressure game. But Denmark have such an experienced team that how will they bounce back after the result at home? They said, cool. Michael, watch this. We'll show you experience. We'll show Damzinho scoring a ridiculous goal. Christensen just takes the ball from the center back role and just goes through the entire team like he's Maradona and scores a wonderful goal. And even Rasmus Højlund gets a goal. So if you're a Dane, perfect night. There was nothing to complain about. They were fantastic defensively. The attacking wise, they didn't get a lot from Skov Olsen, so that's a little bit of an issue. But Isaksen will come back into the team after hopefully he recovers from his injury. And I thought the midfield were just brilliant. Højbjerg, Morten Human, and Freuholt, that's the midfield to go with for the rest of this window because those 3 just complement each other so well. Defensively solid, good on the ball. I think Denmark were brilliant in that game. And now Denmark still, they're going to host Greece and they're going to go away to Belarus. They'll beat Belarus, but the game next window is definitely Scotland hosting Greece. If whoever wins that game, they put themselves in a good position to get second place in this group. Just sack Rebrov. I told this to the Ukrainian public and to everybody following UEFA World Cup qualifiers. Rebrov is not the guy anymore. You go away to Azerbaijan, who just got humiliated by Iceland 5-0, and you don't even pick up a victory? Shameful. Shameful from Ukraine and shameful from Rebrov. I'm expecting to see a note soon that's saying he's sacked. Because if Fernando Santos is getting sacked after losing 5-0 and getting pressured from the journalists from Azerbaijan, I expect the same thing for Rebrov here. He's done. Ukraine just an average team. They played decently well against France, but away from home against Azerbaijan, that should be an automatic 3 points. And kudos to Azerbaijan after Fernando Santos got sacked finally because it's just a horrible tenure, 11 games, no victories. what was it, 2 draws? You lost to Haiti, Belarus. Yeah, Fernando Santos had to go to bounce back and get a draw. Good result for Azerbaijan. And then Iceland. I think Iceland had a positive window. 5-0 win at home against Azerbaijan. They go away to France, and obviously, I mean, Elise's goal, Elise's pass for that Iceland goal was crazy. But Iceland were pretty competitive in that game. Some people would talk about the disallowed goal. I thought it was a foul, but overall, Iceland were pretty comfortable out of possession. Even though France, of course, with so much quality, they're going to create the chances. I think it's a pretty positive result for Iceland because they're going to be a dominant home side, as we all know. And all Iceland have to really do is just try and beat Ukraine on one of the occasions and get a draw. And they'll finish runners-up in this group. And there's nothing to say about France because it's Didier Deschamps ball. It's going to be boring. They got the individual talent. They'll get the goals. There you go. There's nothing to say. People want to complain about Desiree Doué and Dembele getting injured, but this is a part of football. You're going to take the risk if you're international manager. He has to get some rhythm within this team, but France just don't play good football. They have all the potential in the world to play like a Spain, to play like other national teams around the world. They choose not to because of Didier Deschamps. So people, we just have to accept it. They're going to get the results. They're going to qualify. And we can just hope and pray that we get something different at the World Cup. But we're not going to get it with Didier Deschamps, are we? I might have to make a separate video on Bulgaria because the regression now that they've had in the 2020s is pitiful and sad because they were such a good team. Again, not a good side. Not a good side. Alongside, Azerbaijan, alongside a Gibraltar. Like, they're just going to be the whooping boys of this group. It's a very tough group, but yeah, Bulgaria are not going to be competitive. Look, you saw how they went away to Georgia, and Georgia absolutely dominated the game and won 3-0 after Willy Sagnol made some formation change and lineup change. And then Georgia kind of bounced back after the home loss to Turkey. Kind of talked about that game during the watch on, but Turkey fully deserved the win. The game just completely changed with the red card. Then Georgia got some hope, but it was too late. They did have a chance in the final minute, but I thought Turkey fully deserved that victory away in Tbilisi. And yeah, that was a poor performance from Georgia's perspective. But then the second match day in this group, and then Turkey got brought down back to earth. I mean, Montella with just suicidal tactics. There is no point in going toe-to-toe with the European champions. I mean, Montella, you have probably a UEFA coaching license. You've probably seen how Spain play. Just think to yourself, okay, what's a good setup to go up against Spain? Just sit in a low block. You have the counter-attacking players with the Octokoglu and Yildiz who have pace. You have a great passer in Guler. Take advantage of it. Instead, he decides to play suicidal tactics, and Turkey got absolutely slaughtered. This game could have been 10. I mean, Spain were fantastic. Of course, we already know that people. I know some people wanted to overreact over the Nations League when Spain lost. I was like, just relax. It's one game. Spain are still the best side by far in Europe. Well, they demonstrated it. 9 goals in this window, 0 conceded, and away from home. I don't know what they're going to do at home when they play against Georgia and play against Bulgaria at home. It could be 10-0 again in both of those games. I mean, it's just, this Spain team are so fantastic to watch. From the days of Luis Enrique playing boring football to what it is right now under Luis de la Fuente, Spain are just magical. And it's just magical to watch Pedri, Mikel Merino, Orizabal. I mean, everybody out there just simply balling out and enjoying the football. Spain are magical, but Turkey, this is what you're going to get with Turkey. You're going to get some moments that are great and moments where you're like, is this even a national team? Is this like what we expect to see? It's great. It's entertainment for me, but it must be so frustrating from a Turkish fan perspective because you could have easily gotten maybe somewhat of a close result against Spain. Instead, you just laid down and let them just slaughter you. It's just terrible from Turkey. So there was moments in the game for Portugal where Ruben Neves was playing center back. I don't know what Roberto Martinez was thinking. Maybe it was injuries, but wow. I mean, they got the result away to Hungary and Armenia, scoring 8 goals and only conceding 2 goals. But yeah, I mean, I can't take too much away from this window for Portugal. It's just all going to come down to the World Cup. Of course, they won the Nations League over the summer, but it's just so difficult because we know Portugal are far superior to the rest of these teams in this group. Obviously, Hungary, they gave a good game, but Portugal is so good. João Felix had a pretty good window, so I got to give credit to him because, we love to be critical of João Felix on this channel, but he had a good window. I thought Cristiano was also really good in this window, getting a couple goals. That goal he scored against Armenia was absolutely sick. So yeah, perfect window for Roberto Martinez and his team. Then we get to Ireland. They really should have lost both of these games in this window. And Hallgrimsson has to look at his defense, and especially Collins, the center back who plays for Brentford. Is he the captain of Brentford, by the way? You're supposed to be a leader. There was no leadership on that field for Ireland. They were just a bunch of individuals doing their own thing. I feel bad for Evan Ferguson. Evan Ferguson worked his ass off in both games and still got 2 goals without 0 service. What a striker he is. Only, 20, 21 years old. So just build the team around him. But overall, from Ireland, it's like, you got the game back against Hungary because of the red card. I mean, the second half, the amount of crosses and crosses and crosses that Ireland were putting into the box, it was only a matter of time before Hungary were just going to make that one minute mistake, and they got punished with it, and they could have even lost the game at the end. So I think for Hungary, look, defensively, the team does not look good. You're good going forward, but you cannot make the individual mistakes that are going to punish you, like a red card like you did against Ireland. Otherwise, Hungary would be comfortably in second place in this group, but now it's Armenia who beat Ireland at home. But you can't get carried away. Armenia's next 2 games are away to Hungary and away to Ireland. Ireland need to bounce back in that game, and Hungary, they need to pick up 2 victories there because they're going to go away to Portugal and hosting Armenia. This group is still a little bit more fascinating when it comes to the second place, but yeah, Portugal are going to walk away with it. I got to give credit to Lithuania. They're a competitive team. Even though they should have really beaten Malta, every game they've been in has been entertaining, and they're a feisty team. They're not going to play beautiful football, but they just get those results. They grind it out. They got 2-0 down to the Dutch at home, and they get it back to 2-2. Yes, they lost the game, but I think that's really positive because I thought Lithuania were going to lose a lot of games in this window. They've only lost 2 games and had 3 draws. Positive if you're Lithuania and Malta. Yeah, Malta are just not going to be competitive. The less said, the better about Finland. I mean, guys, this national team is horrendous to me. I mean, Jakob Friis is basically the Danish Ten Hag. He doesn't know what to do with his tactics. It's now been 6 games I've seen him with the Finland national team, and I see no identity. The football is trash. He's making poor selections. Peltola looks like an MLS defender. Yeah, so you know what that means. He's not good enough. Peltola has been at fault for about 5 to 6 goals in these qualifiers, and Finland have conceded 8 goals. Somebody has to drop Peltola. I don't know if he has something in the FA, but Peltola just needs to be dropped, and attacking-wise, there's nothing, man. It's like, okay, we'll get it out wide to Antman, and Antman is just isolated, and he's double-teamed, triple-teamed. Like, somebody give him help. No Uronen, he's not going to do anything, so it's just so poor watching Finland. Thank God I don't have to talk about them a lot on this channel as of right now. I want to be positive. At least I'm positive about the U21s because those guys ball out and they play good football. That's why I always say with the Finland national team, just play the youngsters. I don't care if we lose. As long as the youngsters get development and understand the taste of defeat and learn from it, I'm cool with it. They keep playing these old guys, like a Peltola, who's not old, but he's not good enough for this national team. We've seen it now over and over again. They go away to Poland, and Poland, I don't even think they played amazing in the game. They were just clinical. Lewandowski to Zalewski's a baller, by the way. Zalewski's so good, and Zielinski with his passing and his footballing IQ is up there. Matty Cash, great window for him. Scored 2 goals in this window and had a crazy celebration, by the way, with that photo. So yeah, Poland, I don't think they were like amazing in this window, but it was a good bounce back with Jan Orban in his first 2 games, going away to the Dutch and getting a 1-1 result, beating Finland at home 3-1. You're definitely going to solidify yourself as the runners-up in this group. I have no complaints there for Poland. And then the Dutch, look, the faster Ronald Koeman is sacked, the better. I just don't see anything positive with this guy. I think it's going to be a car crash at the World Cup next year. Unless he doesn't move on, or at least the FA just say, hey, Ronald, you had a good shout. You had a decent run at the Euros, even though the Netherlands were not great in that European Championship. I thought they could have played a lot better. You won 1 against Poland at home. 0 creativity. You go away to Lithuania and you're dropping a 2-0 lead. This team has this is not a 2018 Netherlands issue where it's a lack of talent. This team have talent. Maybe you could talk about in the attacking department that there's not enough talent, but there is talent on this Dutch team. They should be playing a lot better. A lot better. Look at the midfield defense, some of the attackers with Javi Simons, Gakpo, and Memphis Depay now becoming the all-time goal scorer. I think it was a really poor window from Netherlands. There needs to be serious question marks on Ronald Koeman. I don't care. Michael, they have 0 losses. We have eyes. My eyes tell me that if this doesn't improve, they won't go far at the World Cup. I don't want to be negative, but I'm just hoping the best for the Netherlands because I can see how much talent they have. Wow, this experiment with Lucescu with Romania has been a disaster because they have done nothing. I mean, nothing. They went away to Cyprus and bottled a 2-0 lead, and Cyprus could have won it at the end. If I'm Lucescu and I'm Romania, like, you brought him back, legendary manager. You thought, okay, we just need that little extra bit of experience in this team, and it's been a failure. They have 7 points in 5 games. 2 losses, 1 draw, 2 wins. Those wins being away to San Marino and at home to Cyprus. It's not going to be good for Lucescu in Romania. There's going to have to be serious question marks. They're going to host Austria in the next game. I hope it turns around for Romania, but it doesn't look good. Shout out to Cyprus. Usually in the last couple of years, Cyprus have been like the whooping boys, losing 3-0, 4-0. Nothing like a San Marino or Liechtenstein or anything like that. But Cyprus have been super competitive in this group. And a very tough group, mind you. And then the big game that we saw was Austria and Bosnia. Obviously, Bosnia beating San Marino 6-0 and Austria only beating Cyprus 1-0. I have to be honest, this window was a little bit disappointing from Ralf Rangnick and Austria. They didn't play the best football, and away to Bosnia, got to give massive credit to Bosnia. I know they lost the game, but they were toe-to-toe with Austria. This game could have gone either way. Austria had a couple decent opportunities. Bosnia had a lot of good opportunities with Dzeko, especially at the edge of the box, but Dzeko couldn't find his feet or he missed a golden chance. I think Bosnia played a really good game. They knew when to press Austria to really fluster them. They really made it uncomfortable. Austria just dig deep and got the victory. And that was like, okay, we can play ugly sometimes and just get the victory. Look at Conor Leimer's goal, for example. Just a scrappy goal. Sabitz's goal was a wonderful volley. I think if you're Austrian, you got to be like, hey, man, we didn't play well. We got the results. So that's a good thing. Sometimes it's not going to be the most prettiest of football, international football, or club football. But it's about that winning sort of mentality and knowing when to dig deep and just get a result by any means possible. And that's what Austria want to do. If they want to make it back to the World Cup for the first time since 1998, you're going to have results like this. Austria did it. Kudos to them. And Bosnia, I feel bad because I thought they played really well. It's super competitive, but they still got that final match day against each other. Austria, Bosnia, I think it's going to come down to the wire here between these two teams. Great game, though, I thought, between Austria and Bosnia. Oh, the Italians, man. Oh, Gattuso in his first 2 games. They were 0-0 with Estonia at halftime. They won 5-0. And then the most chaotic and just most stupidest football game I think I've ever seen. Honestly, people, it's 5-4, and people are like, oh, look at the entertainment, look at the goals. I get it. But some of the defending from both of those teams in that game, I mean, Italy, all of the players except for Moise Kean should be deported out of the country. How are you conceding 4 goals and you're I don't want to hear Michael was 2 on goals. You conceded 4 goals. Does it say 4 goals on the final scoreline? It does. And overall, the shape of the Italian team. The great thing for Italy is that they have 2 strikers that know what they're doing. Retegui and Moise Kean. Wonderful combination play. Moise Kean, by the way. You are such a fantastic striker. So happy for him that he's rectifying his career after having a dismal sort of time in the last couple years. He's really bounced back well. Retegui, his hold-up play is nice. The link-up play is good. So Italy are good there. Midfield-wise, they're still good there. That car crash at the defense. Do these guys not know where they're from? Do they think they're from, like, San Marino? Is this seriously the Italian national team? The right side in that game, Mancini and Di Lorenzo, were absolutely awful. They were getting cooked over and over again. The next window, Gattuso has to play. If he wants to keep this 4-4-2 sort of shape, he needs to play Cambiaso right back. There is no way you can continue with Di Lorenzo. He is consistently getting cooked by average guys at national team level. It might work in the Serie A. Conte is just a magician. I get it. But, I mean, great that Italy won the both games, but there is still so many question marks, and they are most certainly going to finish runners-up in this group because Norway said, oh, you want to play games? Let's play games. 11-1. I checked the XG. It was like 8.05. I mean, Moldova are not the worst team in Europe. There's Gibraltar out there, San Marino. Moldova are like that at the level of like an Estonia or at the level of a Luxembourg. And Norway scored 11 goals? Now, this team are walking to the World Cup. They are just... They're just getting the Viking horns. And they're saying, America, Mexico, Canada, we're here. We're here early. Because Norway are just walking to it. They are in such a groove right now. Solbakken, we gave him all sorts of criticism the last couple of years because he's had a talented team. He's been given time and time and time. The last year, Solbakken might be the guy. He might be another bald Pep Guardiola. Just a Norwegian version of, I mean, wow, what a turnaround. And the football they played against Moldova, just magnifique. I'm just so happy now that this team with so much quality are finally producing it week in and week out. And if you're a Norwegian, you're like, Hey, let's bring the Norwegian national team. If you're a Man United fan and if you're Norway, you don't want to see Man United play ever again. You just want to see Norway. Every single week, they're just in such a flow. And I know they've still got tough games. They still got to play Israel at home. They still got to go away to Italy. For me, I think it's done. I really just don't see how it's going to have to be another bottle job from Norway. And they have that in their gene, but I just see something different with this side. I just see this team playing with such confidence. People, in 5 games, they have scored 24 goals. 24 goals. Do you know how absurd that is? I mean, what a team that Norway are now. Because they're going to have those games like an Estonia away where they're going to only score 1 goal and it's going to be frustrating. But the way they just bounced back and scored 11 on Moldova, just embarrassing for Moldova, but for Norway, 11 heaven for them. Nothing too crazy in this group. Obviously, Wales going away to Kazakhstan and picking up a victory. Craig Bellamy, I think he's doing a really good job. They were dealing with some injuries during this window, but they bounced back. And obviously, we can always say going away to Kazakhstan is difficult just because of the time zone, the turf, the long travel, but Wales got an important victory just to keep up with North Macedonia and Belgium, because Belgium destroyed Liechtenstein, they destroyed Kazakhstan, and Macedonia destroyed Liechtenstein. So there's nothing really to talk about this group, because the next window is where it gets juicy, people. Macedonia are going away to Belgium, Belgium are going away to Wales, and Macedonia are hosting Kazakhstan. That next window for this group is everything. For this window, it's like, okay, the big boys got their goal difference up. The next window is where it all goes down in this group. I cannot wait for it. Oh, it's going to be sensational. Finally, we saw a good performance from England. Obviously, it helped when Milinkovic got the red card. Kind of feel bad for Thomas Tuchel because they haven't had their full team. They're dealing with so many injuries. That's why there's Gordon and Madueke starting, and Rodgers in the number 10. There's no Cole Palmer, Bellingham, and these sort of players. But England played really well against Serbia, and we've seen what Serbia are. A good defensive team. Yeah, Serbia. I mean, the one thing I have to say about Serbia is they are lacking so much technical quality on their team. Ever since Tadic has left, I mean, the quality level has just dropped. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, nope, there's no technical quality. They're just trying to be a gritty defensive team, which works because they have the defensive quality, but Serbia are missing so much going forward. It's just pitiful, really, to watch them play. They tried to get a result away to Latvia. They did, but it wasn't pretty either. And then they get embarrassed at home by England. I mean, their next game is obviously Albania at home. It's a must win. If you want to make it to the World Cup, finish runners-up in this group, you have to beat Albania at home. But I think it was a good window for England. Obviously, the 2-0 victory at home to Andorra, it's like, it is what it is. It's England at home. They're going to get the job done. It's not going to be pretty. They still haven't conceded a goal in these qualifiers. So that's a positive thing for Thomas Tuchel. But I think that 5-0 victory away to Serbia is like, oh no, England have quality. They're just waiting for the moment to showcase it. That's why I'm not going to go crazy and over criticism of England. I'm waiting for the World Cup because I know that's what Thomas Tuchel is waiting for, the media, the fans, and definitely the players. They need their full team, and I just really want to see who England will play in March to judge how good they could be. Could they face like an Ecuador or Brazil? That would be really good matchups for England to just test themselves against the best teams around the world. But yeah, England were superb against Serbia, but they definitely benefited from the red card. Otherwise, in this group, it all comes down to that Albania-Serbia game because Albania got a victory over Latvia, which thankfully they did. Otherwise, holy cow, because they only beat Gibraltar 1-0 away in the friendly before. It is not pretty right now for Slovenia. They're just grinding it out. Oh, man. This group is not pretty. And then the final group, Croatia are just cooking right now. The young generation mixed in with the old guard with Perisic and Modric. They just keep on balling out. Away from home against Faroe Islands, they had to buy their time. Kramaric got the crucial goal in that game, but you know, Faroe Islands are a gritty team in these qualifiers. That's why they got the 1-0 victory over Gibraltar, but Faroe Islands are not going to be a team anymore that get beat 5-0, 6-0. That's not going to happen to them anymore. So Croatia still with the perfect record, and again scoring 5 goals this window. I just think they're a great team to watch right now. You can just see that there's a rejuvenation with this team. After they went out in the Euros last summer, the bounce back they've had with the players, like a Jakic who came into the team, Kramaric still balling out. So I think Croatia played really well. Same thing for Czechia. Going away to Montenegro and getting a 2-0 victory, that is crucial in this group because Czechia are still right there with Croatia. The next game is against each other in October. Czechia hosting Croatia. But, I mean, Croatia, if they keep playing like this, they are definitely a top 10 team in the world because they are playing with confidence. The high pressing line, there was no Gvardiol in this window, and yet they still absolute domination from them. So got to give credit to Slavko Dalic and his team. And for Czechia, I didn't get to check out the game against Montenegro, so I can't give a lot of analysis there. But the fact they went away there and got a result, I think that's another positive, because after the demolishing that they got from Croatia, I think for Czechia it was most important just to get the result and move on, and they did. Kind of disappointing for Montenegro. I know they suffered from the red card against Croatia, and then after that, it was game over for them. And right now, their World Cup hopes are down right now. I mean, even Faroe Islands are ahead of Montenegro. Kudos to them. But there we have it, people. The review for the UEFA World Cup Qualifiers September edition. What a window. What crazy results. And we still got 2 more windows of madness to go. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Which team were you most impressed by? Which team were you most disappointed by? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here for more UEFA World Cup qualifying content. And follow me on all the socials. Instagram, Twitter. Join the Discord. All those links in the description down below. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time. Adios.